I don't think I've ever had a year where I haven't had a full classroom.
We'll show you how many new students are expected in Horry County this year and how many schools are in what experts call a, quote, red zone.
You do have traffickers and you do have buyers in your area.
We're going to show you what detectives say has changed about sex trafficking investigations over the years. Happening right now, Highway 501 is still closed tonight after a deadly wreck.
First responders shut down the southbound lanes near Pine Oaks Farm Road this afternoon to clean up that crash site. ABC 15's Simon Williams is live on scene with what we know so far. Simon.
Well, right now the Horry County Fire Department says 2 people are dead and 5 others are in the hospital after this bad accident here on 501 in the lanes heading toward the beach. Now, for reference, this is an area of 501 that is in the middle ground between the intersection of 501 and 22 and the town of Aner. Now, you could see the lanes headed toward the beach are completely blocked off to traffic as Horry County Fire Department and Sheriff's Department continues to investigate this crash. Those drivers heading away from the beach are not being kicked off of 501. However, those lanes are coming to a complete stop temporarily as the Sheriff's Department detours traffic. Now, the drivers heading toward the beach on 501 are being kicked off 501 here at Hucks Road, and then they're being able to get back on 501 from that detour. Now, as a result, you can see traffic is very backed up heading toward the town of Aner. Both sides are kind of taking turns right now as the Sheriff's Department stops one side to let the other side through. Now, I did ask the Horry County Fire Department when they were expecting this area to clear up. However, they say with 4 vehicles involved, one of those being a work vehicle and 2 deaths, it's going to be a while. Now, we will let you know when this area clears back up and traffic is back open on air and on WPDE.com. Just be sure to go to our website and click on this story for the latest information. Live in Aner, Simon Williams, ABC 15 News.
All right, Simon, thank you very much.
And of course, we will continue to follow this story here and on WPDE.com.
Horry County is one of the fastest growing areas in the entire country. You see it as you sit in traffic, watch more and more homes pop up, and you really see it in our schools.
Absolutely. ABC 15 Sydney Glenn is live outside Carolina Forest Elementary to show us what a red zone school is and why almost half of Horry County elementary schools have that title. Sydney?
Well, Carolina Forest Elementary School is a red zone. It joins 11 other schools in the Horry County School District with that title. Well, what does that title mean? It means that these schools are at least 95% full. Boxes and upside down desks means one thing. School is about to begin.
I get like really nervous butterflies. So I get really excited. I stop sleeping.
Corey Schuford is excited to meet her new group of kindergarten students in her very full classroom.
I don't think I've ever had a year where I haven't had a full classroom.
No surprise, about 20% of all the Horry County student population is in Carolina Forest.
There could be a good chance down the line that we would have to open an additional elementary school in the Carolina Forest area.
And it's not just elementary schools. 3 middle schools and 2 high schools face the same problem. In the meantime, the district continues to add portables and limit students transferring into red zone schools to help, but it still takes a toll on teachers.
I will take any child that walks through my door because I love what I do, but that puts more strain on teachers financially.
Schuford says although the district gives her $200, she usually spends about $600 to $700 a year out of her own pocket on supplies.
As crayons break and they get lost and pencils break and they get lost, and it's just a continual out-of-pocket expense that we do.
But she keeps coming back.
I love my school.
The Horry County School District has about 41,000 students. Around 21,000 of those are in the elementary schools. Live at Carolina Forest Elementary, Sydney Glenn, ABC 15 News.
All right, Horry County schools are expecting about 400 additional students this year. It's not just elementary schools facing this problem. We have a full list for you on WPDE.com.
Deputies spent nearly 4 hours on the scene of an apparent homicide here in Darlington County today. ABC 15's Tanya Brown is live from South Center Road for us tonight and says police have moved now to a different location. Tanya?
That's right, Summer. Deputies left the scene here about 2 hours ago. Now, I got a tip from a viewer who says she saw deputies at a home about 5 miles from here. It's still on South Center Road. I went down there. I saw deputies at the home. They have that home roped off in yellow crime scene tape. But tonight, they aren't telling me if it's connected to the apparent homicide that happened here earlier today. Neighbors say this is a sight they're not used to seeing on South Center Road in Darlington County.
I'm thinking, oh God, what's wrong? What's going on?
Deputies blocked the road for much of the day as they investigated. Just before noon, a call came into 911 about shots fired. Deputies got on scene and found a body nearby.
It appears to be a homicide, but we'll have to wait on a ruling from the coroner on that. So they're trying to piece the puzzle together.
Officers roped off a burgundy car on scene with its driver's side door wide open. Police aren't saying if the car is connected to the crime.
We're just in a holding pattern, waiting on SLED to come assist us with that scene and making sure that we collect the necessary evidence to ensure for a proper prosecution on this case.
Neighbors say they really hope deputies get to the bottom of what happened. They're very concerned that someone may have been killed in their community.
This is a quiet neighborhood. We don't never have nothing going on out here.
At this time, the victim's name hasn't been released. Live in Darlington County on South Center Road, Tanya Brown, ABC 15 News.
State police are helping process all of the evidence in this case. Now, we are continuing to follow some breaking news here for you out of Orangeburg, South Carolina. Look at this, folks. We've been monitoring this throughout our newscast tonight. A man fell inside of a grain silo about 9 o'clock this morning. Rescue teams pulled him out just minutes ago. Remember, we took a live look here about 5:55, and they were just pulling him out. They say he is alert. Our sister station is on the scene and witnessed him moving his arms and say he appeared conscious. Yeah, good news there.
Yep.
New for you at 6, leaders in Horry County are learning about child sex trafficking this week.
Yeah, it's a 2-day event. It's teaching investigators what to look for and consider. So experts say decades ago they saw sex trafficking as an international problem. Now they say it's a problem in communities across the country. And it's Americans buying and selling Americans. A detective says anywhere you see what you might think is prostitution, there's a good chance it's trafficking.
The likelihood that young girls are involved in that, being used to move that business forward is very high because, you know, just the fact is those are more what the buyers are looking for.
This event continues tomorrow.
2 people are charged with armed robbery and kidnapping a Florence woman. Investigators say Keonia Breasia Robinson and a juvenile unlawfully restrained a woman in a car on East Palmetto Street earlier this month. Detectives say they held the victim at gunpoint and robbed her before she could jump out to safety. Robinson is being held without bond. The juvenile is being charged and is being held in Columbia at the Department of Juvenile Justice.
SCDOT wants to hear from you. We'll show you the answers they're looking for tonight before they start their next transportation plan.
Revitalizing Florence, we're going to show you when new condos are expected to be ready for people to move on in. We have learned construction is underway on some upscale condos in downtown Florence. City officials say the condos are being built on North Dargan Street in the Eleanor building. One of them will have rooftop access with an outdoor kitchen. That sounds nice. Downtown district has grown to attract apartments, lofts, and new condos in the past 3 years. City leaders put a plan into motion 10 years ago to revitalize downtown Florence. The condos are expected to be ready by the end of the year.
All right, tired of road issues? Some of you will like this. South Carolina Department of Transportation, the leaders there, they want to hear from you. So this is an online survey, and it gives you the chance to tell them what's important to you. For example, priority rankings. You could share what you think should be a priority, like repaving the sidewalks or maybe bike paths. You can also weigh in on what you want to see as far as the roads, whether you want to see them widened, workers update infrastructure, all that good stuff. And how should taxpayer dollars be spent? That's one thing you can weigh in on too. Let them know so you can drag these different coins right here to different project categories. We have a link to this survey for you on WPDE.com. Well, a new report shows fertility rates are declining. We'll show you why doctors say that's happening.
Well, there's no doubt about it. The weather is absolutely gorgeous given the time of the year. So just how long will it last? Well, the answer to that question and a look at the tropics after the break.
Welcome back. The fertility rate for women in the United States is slowly declining. That's according to a new report from the Centers for Disease Control and the National Center for Health Statistics.
ABC 15's Devon Roming is live in Myrtle Beach with what doctors say is contributing to fertility decline. Devon.
Well, it comes down to the fact that more women are waiting longer to start families, and in some cases, that's preventing them from having children at all.
So just because there is a decline in the fertility rate does not mean that there is an increase in infertility among women.
If you ask the doctors at Coastal Carolina OBGYN office what's contributing to the decline in infertility rate, they'll tell you it's hard to pin it down to just one thing.
The main factors that we're seeing is that teenagers are less likely to become pregnant because there are more birth control and more effective birth control. And there are women who are starting families later, which is past the age of 35, and it's difficult for them to have children at that point.
A report from the CDC reveals the U.S. general fertility rate, or births per 1,000 women aged 15 to 44, declined by 2% from 2017 to 2018. And at this rate, the CDC says the nation cannot replace its existing population, which could have huge impacts economically.
There's always the factor that there will be less people, the younger population, that can contribute to economic growth. Productivity for the country, and that in itself can spill over and have major effects in several aspects of the country and its development.
Doctors say because more women are waiting later to have children, it's important for them to get a fertility assessment so they know if they're able to get pregnant.
Just be proactive. If you're a woman in your, early 30s and you're not really ready to start your family, be proactive. Go see your OBGYN, get some initial testing done. Maybe think about freezing your eggs so you have that as an option later.
Now, doctors say the best time to have kids is before age 35 in order to reduce your risk of health complications. For now, reporting live in Myrtle Beach, Devon Roming, ABC 15 News.
Devon, thank you very much. The CDC's report also revealed the teen birth rate declined 7% among 15 to 19-year-olds from 2017 to 2018.